right, welcome back. You're watching the News XC voter exit poll for Uttar Pradesh. Bad news for Mayawati. She's out, but good news for the SP and the Congress and the BJP. You've all gained at Mayawati's expense, but perhaps bad news for the nation because we may be left with a hung assembly in the state, perhaps even leading to what people are saying could be president's rule. But first, let me go across to Manjit Kriplani in Mumbai. Are we being a bit too clever here, Manjit? We're showering praise on the SP, we're shouting down the BSP, but is it just a case of voters playing round robin and the incumbents always losing out to the opposite party?
No, I don't think so. I think India is going through a very interesting development phase. Mayawati was right for UP all these years. Her vote bank was the Dalit base, and she has helped them rise and climb up the ladder. They not only have aspirations, they've had education, and they have a decent life now. So I don't think we're playing round robin. This is just the normal phase of development. Maybe it's time for her to go. She has to now deliver jobs to people, and maybe people feel that the Samajwadi Party, under the leadership of a more energized young leader, will do the trick. And certainly I think that Rahul Gandhi and the Gandhi family has lost its luster. They have been playing by the old rules and they haven't actually caught up with the new UP.
All right, Nawab Kazim Ali joins us also from Uttar Pradesh, sir. You heard what Manjit Kriplani said, the Gandhi family losing its luster, people going out to vote for Akhilesh Yadav. Our psephologist Yashwant just called him the sort of find of this election. But Rahul Gandhi, who staked so much on Uttar Pradesh, perhaps will have to go home with his tail between his legs.
Well, actually, I can't really comment on the entire state, but I can talk locally about my district, Rampur, which has 5 assembly segments. And I think the Congress earlier was not even considered to be in the fight in any of them. But now, for this election, Congress is fighting in every assembly segment. And we think that, Mr. Rahul Gandhi's name and he came to each and every constituency of my district, and I think that has helped a great lot. So the results itself will show you that Rampur is not really a very big district, but
Nawab Kazim Ali, I know that you want to.
It's a tremendous gain.
No, Nawab Kazim Ali, I know that there will be several apologists in the Congress party. But the fact is that Rahul Gandhi personalized this campaign. He made it about himself from the very beginning. Many people, in fact, said that he was creating some sort of a strategic blunder by taking on Mayawati directly. He had to do it because of a palsied Congress organization. This is a reflection not just perhaps on his own vote-catching abilities, but perhaps also his own organizational capacities and strategy.
Well, if you say Mr. Rahul Gandhi took it personally, well, so did Mr. Akhilesh Yadav. For the Samajwadi Party, enemy number 1 is the BSP and not really the Congress. So, Mr. Rahul Gandhi, whatever the strategy of the Congress was more on a national level, and for the Samajwadi Party, it was more on a state level. But I think the ideologies were practically the same in both the cases.
To be fair to Rahul, we can at least say that Congress has doubled the vote share. That's a big thing to happen because of the 4-corner contest in Uttar Pradesh. Unless you cross a threshold of 20-odd vote percents in the election, you cannot really, expect to get a substantial number or convert it into substantial number of seats. So we can give credit to Rahul on one thing, that he has actually single-handedly taken the Congress vote share from 8 to 16. But what has backfired is clearly the Muslim card, which Congress has overtly played. In fact, it has polarized whatsoever it gained in the last Lok Sabha election, the middle class, upper caste Hindu voters.
Yes.
It has given, pushed it back in the kitty of the BJP.
So that's an important point. Ijaz.
Yeah, one thing I must add from what my friend Yashwant said, more than the Muslim card, when you started this election, you forgot to learn the lessons of history. In 2009, every party hopper who changed parties lost out in the Lok Sabha elections. This time, the Congress, out of the 403, gave 133 seats to party hoppers from SP, BSP and the BJP. And the public clearly is in no mood to allow people from different parties to take the mantle of a new party, and they always are not accepting such factors. So, secondly, the overemphasis on Bedi Prasad Verma and Digvijay Singh, the fact is the old guard in the Congress was saying that we are going the wrong way. There is the old guard of the Congress. They've been out of power for 20 years. If you keep them out and you import people, you may not get the support, and that's exactly what is played out.
I just want to bring in Professor Zoya Hassan because she made a reference to that. Professor Zoya Hassan, where does this leave Rahul Gandhi in the larger schema?
Well, I think one thing we must remember that the Nehru-Gandhi family charisma works more effectively in Lok Sabha elections because they're seen as pan-Indian, all-India leaders. Their charisma doesn't really work as effectively at the state level. Secondly, I think we must remember that the UP elections are very unusual. It's perhaps the only state in the country where you have a four-cornered contest, with now almost all the four parties being fairly serious contenders. So this is as I think one of the panelists just said, that in a four-cornered contest you have to have a certain percentage of vote to be you have to cross the threshold. Thirdly, I think we must remember that the Congress has really been more or less out of UP politics for more than 20 years. And I think 2009 Lok Sabha elections was significant because for the first time the Congress did well in the Lok Sabha election. Now the interesting issue in this election was whether the Congress would be able to maintain what it was able to do in the 2009 parliamentary elections in UP. Now it hasn't been able to do so as the polls seem to indicate.
That's an important point. Let me bring in Jahangir here, because Jahangir, we were talking about the macro picture just a short while back before the break. And you made a point about the fact that when things are going to be in limbo in Uttar Pradesh, it's going to have perhaps a larger impact on the national picture. With regards to Rahul Gandhi, how closely is his stature on the national stage tied in with the outcome?
Look, I mean, let's talk about the first thing first. A hung assembly in Uttar Pradesh, not something any Indian wants to see. 403 seats. Our exit poll showing us that the SP gets 141, the Congress gets 36, and the RLD gets about 11. That gets them to 188, still short of the 202 odd that they would need to form a government. So you come down to basically, the SP with BSP rather with 126, and then the BJP with 83. So a lot now will depend on whether the BSP is able to form a government with the BJP, perhaps some inside or outside support. This, of course, will also have consequences on Uttarakhand.
Jani, very small information, because 104 marginal seats which I talked about, if the marginal component where the Samajwadi Party is runner-up in our exit poll, if that is converted, then Samajwadi Party might end up at 176. But that is keeping in mind that all the odds work in favor of Samajwadi Party, and they all work against that.
But what it means is that Rahul Gandhi's sort of much touted go-it-alone strategy is failing, at least in the medium run, not even the short run, because it failed in Tamil Nadu.
In Bihar.
It failed in Bihar miserably.
Most importantly.
And now it's failing in Uttar Pradesh. Now, let's not even say failing. Let's just say that the term of the strategy is going to have to be very, very long.
Jahangir, I would not like to be that harsh on Rahul. I would say that he has pulled out Congress from the operation table to the ICU, but it is not in the general board.
That's a valid point. Let me quickly bring in Kalyani Shankar. Kalyani Shankar. On this point of Rahul Gandhi, and can he actually disassociate the debacle in Uttar Pradesh from his own record as a vote catcher?
As a few minutes ago you said apologies, those who are supporting him will say that party has improved twice, it's double the seat. Second thing, vote share has also increased. The problem for Rahul Gandhi is not his failure in a way, because the party doesn't exist in UP. There is no organization, there is no booth committee which will take the voter to the polling booth, whereas BSP has a cadre, RSS was working for BJP,
Yes.
Samajwadi also has a cadre. This is where he has failed, and this was pointed out to him quite a few times by the senior party leaders also.
That's an important point. That's an important point. Rishabh has put together a graphics for all of us to put in perspective why perhaps Rahul Gandhi couldn't transcend the rhetoric and actually strike a chord with the elect.
Right, there was certainly a lot of rhetoric, but of course, filling the blanks when it came to getting the voter to translate that into votes, that's been the difficult part. So where did it all really go wrong? Well, firstly, the big glaring impact, which remember Akhilesh Yadav pointed out, no convincing explanation why the Sachar Committee and Mishra Commission reports were not implemented there at the center. To his credit, he did make a slight dent in the elitist image of the Congress party. That you can clock to Rahul Gandhi. But a record number of tickets, remember, were given to the Dalits as well as Muslims. 61 tickets given to the minorities. Promised to make up for the neglect of Muslims by pressurizing the center on the minority quota. That's another rhetorical stand focusing on the minority quota, and also targeted the Mahadalits extensively. But it seems that all of these attempted stances and strategies have not really panned out.
All right. Well, on that note, let's take a quick break. But when we're back, we'll talk about the BJP and Nitin Gadkari. He was basically pillared for many of his decisions, bringing back Uma Bharti, teaming up with Kushwaha, you know, Sanjay Joshi, putting him in charge of Uttar Pradesh. Has all his bets paid off? Is sort of Nitin Gadkari a little bit of a hero here in Uttar Pradesh, if in fact our exit poll numbers turn out to be exactly what we say they are? Don't go, we'll be right back in just a minute.